Are you looking for a college football bet that could change your life? That's what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. So it's a big weekend for college football. We got Clemson, Wake Forest, Florida, Tennessee. But hey, sometimes you got to follow the value, right? As a short bettor, we're always following the value. And the game I'm going to be looking at, because there's a lot of value, lines have been moving in this game, is UL Monroe versus Louisiana. Okay, so Louisiana, the Ragin' Cajuns, they're minus 320. That's the best price you can get on them. Minus 320 on WynnBet. Now, the best price you can get on UL Monroe is plus 275 on DraftKings or Bet Online. So kind of as a sharp bettor, the first concept you need to understand, this really is sports betting 101, so this shouldn't be that surprising to you, is that you need multiple sportsbooks to be successful. And the reason is every single sportsbook has different odds from one another, right? And you're never going to make money if you're placing bets at plus 250 when another sportsbook is offering plus 275. You're getting a significantly worse price, and it's already hard enough to, make money sports betting and be a sharp sports bettor and do this for a living. So if you're really looking to make money sports betting, you're going to need a lot of outs, right? And you're definitely going to need to, compare lines. Now, what you may notice is I'm not currently in a location where Bet365 is available. But before placing a bet, I still check the odds on Bet365 as well as every other sportsbook on OddsJam. It's completely free to browse odds in your location. So why do you do that? It's because essentially every single sportsbook is a data point on what the odds should be for a particular team, right? So Pinnacle right here is the sharpest bookmaker in the world. Now Bet Online is a pretty sharp sportsbook as well, so we put a lot more weight into what their odds are. But every sportsbook is pricing the game independently, so you view their odds as an independent data point, right? And kind of looking at the market, if you were to tell me, yo, you can get UL Monroe at plus 400, considering that no other sportsbook's giving better than plus 275, that would be a no-brainer bet, right? Either every other sportsbook is mispriced, or this sportsbook offering plus 400 odds is, mispriced. So when you're comparing 50 sportsbooks to one sportsbook, it's very clear to pick out the discrepancy and where the mathematically profitable bet is. So the way that OddsJam works, right, is it constantly scans the market to try to find spots with value, right? Out of the millions of odds kind of on sportsbooks, here you can see just for the point spread for this game, there's, probably 100 plus odds, right? OddsJam is updating these odds in real time to look for discrepancies in bets that actually have a mathematical profit margin. So if you're new to this channel, this is what is unique about OddsJam, right? There's no BS. There's no, oh, well, the UL Monroe coach, he said in an interview. There's no BS. It's all data. It's all math. And my goal as a sharp bettor, someone who does this full time, is to help you learn the strategies to actually become more profitable. And line shopping is completely free on OddsJam. Any sport you want to bet on, it is completely free to browse odds. And I'll be the first to tell you, if you're not looking for value and you're not getting the best line, you're literally burning money. So you should probably stop betting on sports. But if you're looking to get serious, you got to start line shopping. So anyways, how the Positive EV betting tool works, right, is it scans the markets and looks for discrepancies. And you can see right now there's 1, 2, 3, there's only a few, right? There's only 6 bets. So it's not like it's easy to find sharp bets. Out of the millions of odds on sportsbooks at any given time, there's typically only, a small fraction of those bets are actually good enough to beat the vig, beat the juice, right? As a sharp bettor, I want to place as many bets as I can, but there's typically only 5 or so bets I want to place at any given time, during any given, 15-minute period or whatever. So the bet I ended up just going with is UL Monroe plus 9.5 on the point spread. So what's very interesting about this bet is, first of all, the juice on WynnBet is minus 102, minus 102. They only have 4 cents in market width, right? Minus 102 to minus 102. They're only baking 4 cents of VIG into their market. Resorts World Bet has 30 cents in juice. So for some reason, they're offering very low vig juice on these bets. So why does this matter? Well, what we can do is we can go to an odds converter calculator. So I think you'll find this really interesting. So typically, sportsbooks have, minus 110, minus 110. You'll see that on a lot of sportsbooks, right? Minus 110 juice, minus 110, right? And again, it's just fascinating how some sportsbooks have the spread at 9.5, some have it at 9, some have it at 8.5, right? So the difference between 8.5 and 9 is pretty big, because if Louisiana wins by 3 field goals, if you would have bet Louisiana minus 9, you would have pushed, right? You're getting a refund. You're not winning anything. Whereas if you would have bet Louisiana minus 8.5 at the same price, you'd be cashing. So here's why this is so interesting. Is when you're betting at minus 110 juice, you need to win 52.4% of your wagers to break even, right? So what this betting odds calculator shows you, and you should learn how to use all these calculators on OddsJam. They're all really cool, powerful, important, and there's some useful text you can read, is when you're betting at minus 110 odds, you need to win 52.4% of your bets to break even, right? So this is the sportsbook's advantage, right? This is how the sportsbooks make money. For both the overs and the unders, both sides of a spread, they're making you bet $11 to win back 10. If you just think about it, that doesn't really seem like a fair trade. You have to bet 11 to win back 10. For both the over and the under, for both sides of the spread, right? Like here, Louisiana minus 8.5 is cashing, or UL Monroe plus 8.5 is cashing. It's either or. One bet will always win in a spread, one bet will always lose. So you can imagine, let's say, you bet $11 on Louisiana minus 8.5. I bet $11 on UL Monroe, plus 8.5. Let's say we both bet $110, 110 to win 100, right? So the sportsbook, I bet 110, you bet 110. The sportsbook's collecting $220. Only one of us can win. Either your bet's going to win or my bet's going to win. So when I lose, let's say your bet wins, right? I'm losing $110, but the sportsbook only owes you $100 because you bet at minus 110 juice, right? So essentially, when you're betting at minus 110 juice, you need to win 52.4% of your bets to break even. So people who bet on sports full time for a living, like me, people, the sharp bettors, the serious sports bettors, people who make serious bucks off this, they're aiming to win on spreads, totals as sharp bettors 55% of the time, right? If you're a monkey just literally blindly picking over or under, you're going to be winning 50% of the time, right? Every single time the game goes over or under. So it's literally impossible in the long run to be worse than 50%. So that difference between winning 50 and 55% of the time is like the difference between a donkey blindly picking over or under and someone who bets on sports full time for a living. So here's what's fascinating is the fact that WynnBet is only having their juice at minus 102, minus 102, means you only have to win 50.5% of your bets to break even. So the sportsbook's advantage is a lot lower, right? At minus 102 juice, it's a lot easier to make money when there's minus 102 juice on both sides of the market because, again, the sportsbook has less of an advantage. You only have to bet 102 to win back 100, so you don't have to win as many bets, right, to break even. So when you can find these situations where sportsbooks are offering reduced juice, it's a lot easier to find sharp bets. And we can see the profit margin of this bet is 3.35%. I hammered it for $12.50. So our bet has $42 in profit margin. That's how you make money as a sharp bettor. You place as many positive EV bets as you can on a daily basis, right? All of your bets have a mathematical edge. This bet is not guaranteed to win, but in the long run, I'm going to make money placing bets such as UL Monroe plus 9.5. It's just rational sports betting. Why do we like this bet? Well, first of all, there's very low juice. And the first thing you'll notice is, hey, Resorts World has this priced at minus 120, So if we go to a no vig odds calculator, the true price once you remove the vig from Resorts World's market is going to be minus 104. So the true price according to this sportsbooks model is minus 104 for Louisiana, for UL Monroe plus 9.5. We're getting minus 102. So we're getting better odds. Now on Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, they have this plus 102, minus 124, right? So the true price according to the sharpest sportsbook is going to be minus 112. So we're getting 10 cents of improvement, right? Which you can see roughly right here. 10 cents of improvement from the sharpest bookmaker. The true price from the sharpest bookmaker, right? When you're getting 22 cents of improvement on a spread from the sharpest sportsbook, that's pretty good indication that you like the bet. And that's 2 data points, right? So this minus 102 bet looks incredible to this sportsbook and this sportsbook. But what you'll notice is, hey, a lot of sportsbooks have the spread at 9 or 8.5, right? So obviously, you know, when you're taking a jump from 9.5 to 9, which is a key number, like we're betting UL Monroe plus 9.5 at better odds than you can even get on any other sportsbook for UL Monroe plus 9. So what you'll notice is the jump on Pinnacle and Resorts World, you know, from 9.5 to 9 is at least a few cents, right? So DraftKings has UL Monroe plus 9 favored. We're getting half a point better, and we're only betting at minus 102 juice. So this bet looks great to DraftKings. You know, if you kind of shifted around all these markets by 5 to 10 cents and moved it up, because, you know, you can kind of follow the alternates here, this minus 102 would look incredible, right? We're betting at minus 102 odds. When DraftKings has the plus 9 juiced, we're getting the plus 9.5 at minus 102. That seems pretty good, right? So we're using real-time data, real-time market data, where all these sportsbooks are pricing these bets to find these inefficiencies and take advantage of them. And we have a very high profit margin on this play. So again, I'll be tracking my profit and loss kind of on all the plays I give out on YouTube. No prize picks or underdog fantasy, no fantasy stuff, no promos, no like, you know, risk-free bets, none of the BS, just straight up prop betting, beating the books. We're up 2.3K. And again, like if you're placing bets with a 3.35% profit margin, and let's say your average bet size is $50, you want to earn $1,000 a month, right? This spreadsheet, which will be in the description, tells you how many bets you should aim to place a day to earn $1,000 a month. And of course, again, there will be variance along the way. Your bets have an edge. They're not guaranteed to win, but over the course of the long run, you're guaranteed to win. So you need to place a lot of positive EV bets, you know, 40, 50, no, more. You need the variance to kind of work itself out and show your edge in the long run. So I recommend, you know, like our bet, for example, we have an edge, right? The true price should be minus 109, minus 110. We're getting minus 102. So we're getting better odds than the true odds. The bet's not guaranteed to win. It's still only like 55% or whatever to win, right? So hopefully you enjoyed this video. College football bet for this weekend. Let's make money.